We'll start with one lesson. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagrana Raghunath Mukritam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Pada Sagrana Lalita Sri Visakha Vitamscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vishtaya Bhaktare Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Devi Gaunamani Charani Nirvishesha Suryavadi Paschatya Deshatarani Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Premamrutayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gaurati Sedava Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dīnabandhu Jaganpati Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Sute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishnavanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyacha Kripa Sindhu Vyaricha Patitanam Mudane Vaishnavi जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. After a week of gap, where will we? 41, 42. 41, 42. We were at 42. We were starting at 42. We completed 41. So we'll have a quick recap. What did we see in 2.40? So in 2.40, Krishna says that in this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution, and little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. Right. So anyone remembers which endeavor it's being talked about here? Little which little endeavor? Bhakti. All right. Or kuch? Anything else? Yeah, no, you're right. I'm not saying you're wrong. Right. Any other views? So that's correct. Bhakti, right? In this Niskam Karma Yoga, in this Bhakti, in Krishna consciousness, Krishna consciousness, right? There is no loss or diminution. Means whatever little we do, it's never lost. So we understood in comparison to material things what we gain. You gain your wealth. You can have 10 bungalows if anyone is having you, right? Or you can have 20 crore of wealth or whatever, right? You can have anything in this world, right? All the reputation, man, pratishtha, everything. At the death, everything goes away. Sometime even before death, right? All the reputation. A lot of people, they were so much reputed, and just one controversy, and everything goes away, right? So material thing, it's all temporary. It's always there is a loss. The result what also we gain in the for the material things, either we'll gain for some time, it will be there and then it will start decaying, or it will be lost completely. Like we are eating a rasgulla, right? Taste will be there for 4 seconds, and after that, finish, right? Then again you're like, okay, taste is gone, one more rasgulla, right? So that's how it is. But in the spiritual thing, what Lord is saying, whatever little things we do, even a small thing we do, right? A Vaishnava is going, right? You are going to the temple, someone is doing jhadu lagana. You say, Prabhuji, give me some service. Like, I'll take. You're doing a small service there also. That will never ending with your, that is never ending with your death, right? Whatever you have learned, whatever you have gained, say you have read Bhagavad Gita. Yes, like in the material world also, you did your primary and then secondary schooling, PhD, all doctorate, postdoctorate, everything. Again, in next life, you'll have to start from there. So it's not like in next life, if you are reading Bhagavad Gita, you don't have to read Bhagavad Gita. You'll start from chapter 2, where we have left. Right? You have to read it, right? But the understanding differs. It's very easy to understand. You see, some people they understand things very easily. Prabhuji, ऊपर बैठ. They understand things very easily, right? While some people are like that, 10 बार भी समझाओ उनको नहीं समझ में आएगी. You understand Prabhuji Hindi a little bit? If I use, yeah, if any place you have some problem, just stop it. Right. So even if you tell them 10 times, they might not able to understand. Right. That's something. It's not like they have to start from scratch. They knew this from the previous life. Now they are just kind of revising, and they're going ahead. They understand it quite quickly. Those all great leaders, say Radhesham Prabhu. Right. He's such a great leader. Must have done read Bhagavad Gita many times in his previous life. This life is just teaching us to people like us to come out of this, right? So they are the people because it is never lost. So we discuss in this purport what written by Srila Prabhupada. Even a small beginning of such activity finds no impediment, nor can that small beginning be lost at any stage. The performance of such work, therefore, is not at loss, even if his work in Krishna consciousness is incomplete. Very important line. A lot of people ask, what if my bhakti is not complete? I will not get liberated. Nothing. You'll again get opportunity. What if you don't do bhakti? Then what? Think that way, right? Rather than thinking negatively, what if it is not complete, so I'll not take it. What if you don't do? Next life, what you are going to become, you don't even know. Gadhe ban gaye to, right? Try doing bhakti, being an ass. We all are, but human. We all are human as, but at least we are not animals, right? We don't even know what we'll become. So it's better to do something and try rather than not trying at all because I can't do. I cannot complete it. He, up to I'm 70 years old. I don't know how many years I'm going to live. So why to do that? Then again, next life you don't know what you'll become. So that's what Srila Prabhupada is saying. Like you will not be at loss even if one is not at a loss, even if his work in Krishna consciousness is incomplete. 1% done in Krishna consciousness bears permanent result, so that the next beginning is from the point of 2%. So someone did 1%, in next life they will start from 2%. They will not go to 0 and then start. It's never restart. It's always a continuation. Right? Whereas in the material activity, without 100% success, there is no profit. So that is also something very important to understand. Someone is doing PhD. Until they get the degree, they are not called PhD. But in Krishna, in Bhakti, it is not like that. Until you get liberated, you are not called Bhakti. It's not like that. Right? It's always, like we said, it's always a continuation. Right? So you did some Bhakti, you may be a little Bhakti. Right? There is nothing called a little PhD. Right? Or half PhD or quarter PhD. Right? Either it's a PhD or no PhD. Right? But here you can still have क्या कहते हैं कनिष्ठ क्वार्टर भक्ति हाफ भक्ति तो नहीं होगा बट यू विल बी एटलीस्ट बिगिनर राइट बिगिनर डिवोटी यू कैन बी मध्यम अधिकारी यू कैन बी उत्तम अधिकारी कनिष्ठ मध्यम उत्तम यू कैन बी एनीथिंग राइट एंड in next life you will follow on next. So material activities and their results end with the body, but the work in Krishna consciousness carries a person again in Krishna consciousness even after the loss of the body. At least one is sure to have a chance in the next life being born as a human being because we left it somewhere, right? Being a elephant, being a cow तो फिर भी ठीक है मतलब being elephant, being a lion will not make us carry that forward. So that way Krishna ensures that you get a human life again, and again level by level, someone who is a little serious but they fall down in between or they could not complete it. They are assured to get born into either a Brahmin family or in aristocratic or rich family. Brahmin not by birth, Brahmin by qualities. Like someone is born, say Mukund, he is born into Krishna conscious family, so that he can carry that. From childhood, he is seeing how these things happen. Right? That's easy for them rather than people like us, जो 40 साल के होने के बाद ठीक है, then we start finding अच्छा ऐसा भी कुछ होता है, let's try that. Right. So for them it's very easy. Or rich, They don't have to worry about 3 times of meals, right? Or resources. They, for a poor people, the first priority like pehle paid bhar lo, then we can do anything. Right? For rich people, they don't. So they have all the facilities available to them. So that's what written here in the next line. Human being, either in the family of a great cultured brahmana or a rich aristocratic family, that will give them further chance for elevation. Right? And we saw some examples last time. Gajendra. Right? He was a king. Which king? Indradumna. Right? So here we are deviating from that example, but these examples are exception. Right. Someone can ask, Prabhuji, आपने तो अभी बोला कि they will get a human birth, then how did he get the birth of an elephant? Because he was cursed. Right. By Muni, by Rishi, he was cursed, and he got the form of elephant. But he remembered when the crocodile caught his leg and pulling him down in the river. He remembered the prayers he used to pray for Lord Vishnu, and he took one flower from his trunk, and then he did arpan. He did arpit to Lord Vishnu and recited that prayer in his mind. And Lord Vishnu himself came in Garud and liberated both of them. Not only him, but also the crocodile. Right. So he remembers. Same thing with Ajamil. Ajamil's story. I'm quickly recapping because Prabhuji came first time. So Ajamil was a Brahmana initially, but with a bad association, he got the most fallen person. He did all kind of crimes you can think of. That bad guy he was. But he had one wife and many other not wives, right? So that kind of person he was. But one of his wife had son. She named him as a Narayana. He was very attached to. He was the youngest one. So when on the deathbed he was dying, he just called. Like he realized that he is going to die. He was completely atheist, but he just called his son Narayan, Narayan, right? Because at the last moment people always want to see the dear ones. But because he called Narayan, and he was such a bad person, so Yamdut came to take him to Narak, where they'll give him all the punishment. But because he called Narayan, the Vishnu Dut also came, and they stopped. You cannot take. They told Yamdut, you cannot take someone who is calling at their deathbed, their end time, the name of Lord. You cannot take them. Take. So they back off, and he gets another life. Another life is not the next life. In the same life, he heard all the conversation between Vishnu Dut and the Yamdut, and then he realized what he was missing. He started doing bhakti. So where he left, he started from that, and in the end, he got liberated. We saw another example of the great who? Narad Muni. Narad Muni. Right. He was in previous life before Narad Muni, he was a son of a maid servant, a very lower caste. I will not say caste, a lower class person who was just a maid servant. And she used to live in a jungle in an ashram, used to do seva there. And some rishis in Chaturmas, they came to live in that ashram, and they were living there. They got the little boy, he got opportunity to serve them. And he served them, he had their prasadam also. And after the prasadam, they blessed him that in next life he'll become someone great. And in next life he got the birth at Narad Muni, who is the greatest of Lord's devotee. Right? We discussed he is the not Narad Muni is not as what serials propagate. He is the one of the greatest devotee. Behind Prahlad Maharaj, there was Narad Muni. His guru was Narad Muni. Behind Dhruv Maharaj, it was Narad Muni. Behind Srila Vyasdev, it was Narad Muni. Right? All the great devotees of the Lord, you see, writing Mahabharata and all the Vedas, it was Narad Muni's inspiration. Right? So all the great Valmiki, it was Narad Muni. He was the one by seeing himself, people changes. Right? So those are some examples. Then in 2.41, Lord says that those who are on this path are resolute in purpose. Vyavasayatmika buddhi. And their aim is one. Resolute means one single-minded focus, fixed mind. O beloved child of the Kurus, O beloved child of the Kurus, the intelligence of those who are irresolute is many-branched. So we discussed what is resolute. Resolute means single-minded, one focus. But those who are not resolute. Now one focus is where? Where this one focus? Krishna. The resolute means one focus is towards serving Lord, not one focus on job, getting promotion, not on those things, right? So he says that their aim is one: get out of this world, get liberation, and go out of this world, go to Vaikuntha, right? That is their aim, and that's what they do. They serve Lord and they do this. But those who are not one-minded or fixed-minded, what happened? Their intelligence is multi-branched. So we discuss what is intelligence. What is intelligence? Anyone remembers? Hmm? That is a okay. That's one of the definition. But what is intelligence? How would you define intelligence? Absolutely. Enlightened action means we were discussing about niskam karma before, right? We all do karma. Without karma, a soul cannot live. It's a property of the soul. It's the nature of the soul, right? So when you know the theory, when you know all about Krishna concept, but you don't apply in your actions, that become useless. So when we say intelligence is, if someone knows about something, how, um, let's say someone knows how to be a great teacher, and they are not teacher, they are not teaching anyone, then what's the use? It's of no use, right? So intelligence is when you know something applying in your life, think for the proper thing, in a proper way. That is intelligence. So when someone is doing bhakti, and they're applying that in their action, right? In their day-to-day life, day-to-day actions, day-to-day karma, that becomes intelligence. Enlightened action means now I know the theory and I'm applying in my day-to-day action also. That is intelligence, and that is what Lord Krishna is called as Buddhi Yoga. The Nishkam Karma Yoga, Buddhi Yoga is same thing. That's the same thing. Like using intelligence to do what? To serve Lord and get out of this world. That's real intelligence. Right. So, Lord used two words here. Vyavasaina, resolute in Krishna consciousness, means one pointed intelligence, one pointed focus. And then he talked about avyavasaina, of those who are not in Krishna consciousness, who have multi-branched intelligence. Now, what is multi-branched intelligence? Someone who is not focused on doing one thing. So they'll think how to make my boss happy, how to gain one more house, how to gain more money. Their mind will be all around the world. How to gain some more pleasure in this world. Right. What movie came recently? Let's go. Huh. Except Krishna, or maybe on the Krishna also, but they are not resolute. Everywhere their mind is. So it is not focused. Right. That's what Srila Prabhupada here calls it multi-branched intelligence. And they are not using their intelligence for one thing, but they are using it for all the things, whatever is available to them. So that's multi-branched. So we gave one example also here. Yeah. So the example was when your mind is focused on one thing, right? Like if you if you believe, if you have Shraddha that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, you don't really need to go to all over the place, right? If you have Shraddha on the CEO, that CEO will take care of me in my company. You don't have to go to HR and you don't have to go to admin, you don't have to go to your manager, director, everyone asking for kuch raise de do, right? You'll simply go to CEO and ask. Everything you will get there. So same way, if you have that Shraddha that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, which he is, but if you have that, right, now you are resolute, then you actually don't need to go to all over the place. Okay, मुझे I need wealth, so I'll go to Lakshmi Devi. Now I need something to be done. बहुत परेशानी हो रही है मुझे, ठीक है, मेरा घर का काम रुका हुआ, I'll go to Ganesh ji to do this puja. I need some other thing, I'll do some this vrat, that vrat. You don't have to go all over the place doing all over the thing. Because your mind is fixed. Okay, Krishna will take care. Right. I don't need to go here and there and try to find out every place someone will do. Because you go to everywhere, you may not get. Here also you not or you will not get. Right. But there is the caveat. If you'll not get, then your whole faith will be shaken. Or if you are getting, then also your whole faith will be shaken. It's like, oh, हमने कृष्णा को मांगा था, I did not get anything, but I asked this Devi Devata and I got get. That means Krishna is not supreme, he is supreme. Then the problem starts. Right? You started thinking that HR head is supreme than your CEO. And you started doing chaplacy of your HR head. When the time comes, HR head के साथ आप भी बाहर निकल गए एक बड़ा सा कार्टन लेके. At least in India we don't get carton. Right? We get message or email on the cab. You don't have to come to office. Your job is over. Please submit the ID card. But yeah, you would have seen. So that is something. Right? One-minded focus. So that is one example. Because if we have Shraddha, you don't have to worry. Krishna knows everything, what is good for us or not. We may not see the full picture. We may see what is just in front of him. He is seeing from the top. He is seeing what is good for us, our past, present, and future. And whatever we deserve, whatever is good for us, only that will be given, rather than giving anything. So, how can we understand that by example? Say there are say GHMC office. There are different departments, right? And someone is going कि चलो मुझे आधार कार्ड बनवाना है. Let's say अगर आधार कार्ड or some certificate I need to make, say birth certificate, right? And they go and they ask that person who makes only birth certificate. What he will do? His job is to make birth certificate. You'll give him all the document. He'll make the birth certificate. He'll give it to you. But then there is an intelligence officer who knows that this guy should not have birth certificate because first of all he is not born here, he is under suspect list, he might be a terrorist. He knows that whole story. So, but that thing is not known by that the normal officer or normal person, the worker there who is working in GHMC. He doesn't know that. He does not have that information. He will give you whatever you are asked. All the documents are there. But when it goes on top, then it's like who gave him this birth certificate? Right. It should not have been given because that guy knows the whole story. Same way we can understand, like a lot Devi Devatas, it is their job to do to give us the thing what we are asking. If we fulfill the requirements, they are bound to give. Right. It is because it is their job, but they don't know all the things. While Krishna, on the other hand, being at the top, he sees everything. He knows what is good for us, what is going to be good for us, like in future also. That's where the Shraddha comes, right? And that's what we are discussing. Um, so faith here, Shraddha, means unflinching trust in something sublime. Sublime means alaukic, something which is beyond our understanding. We really cannot understand Krishna. Thinking Krishna was God, like just a God, or thinking Krishna was just a cowherd boy, these are nothing but like even Lord Brahma cannot understand Krishna. We have a lot of stories, Brahma Vimohan Leela, right, and other stories also. And Govardhan Leela, Indra cannot understand. Right? So we have a lot of story. Even Lord Brahma cannot. Who are we? Saying that we can understand. Right? So we cannot understand. So that is something alaukic. But if we have faith, yes, he is the one who is going to do. I am just surrendered to you, Krishna. Like you do whatever you want. Make me dance the way you want. Right? I am your puppet. Just do whatever you want. Because you know what is best for me. Then he will take care. That is the real surrender. So faith means unflinching trust in something sublime. He need not act in relationship to the material world with obligations to the family traditions, humanity, and nationality. Doesn't mean you don't have to do that, right? That you should leave your family, you should not do any humanity, or you should not do any. You should forget about the nation and don't do. It means that don't leave your bhakti, don't leave that. Don't think that these things are independent of that. If I am doing bhakti, it is my duty to keep my country, who is my Matribhumi, clean. Right? Because if any foreigner also comes to Vrindavan and he sees that अरे Vrindavan तो बहुत ही गंदी जगह है, लोग यहाँ फेंक देते हैं. What kind of? So my Rashtra Bhakti is also coming because from my bhakti. Right. So connect everything to Krishna consciousness. That is the whole goal. It doesn't mean leave your family. No, make your family Krishna conscious. Teach them something, even a small thing. It may not be possible that you'll make them bhakti now, but it's okay. It is never a loss, right? You'll teach something, they will take something, right? They will start doing one mala. Next life they will do 16 rounds. Who knows? It because it is never lost. It will always start from plus 1% where they have left. So those things you should do in relationship of Krishna consciousness, not independently. And the highest perfection of Krishna consciousness is renunciation of the material conception of life. The state automatically achieved by progressive Krishna consciousness, and slowly will attain the highest consciousness. Right. So we're talking about Shraddha. Right. What is Shraddha? So Shraddha, we discussed unflinching faith in something sublime. Right. And it is first stage of bhakti. If we don't have Shraddha, then to whom we are going to do bhakti? If we don't even believe that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead or He is God, how can we just do bhakti? We can't do. Right. So Shraddha is the first stage. Okay. So some examples were given, like a tree. Right. You don't water every part of the tree. In the same way, we can understand. Like if you have Shraddha on Krishna, you can simply ask anything, material or spiritual. You can ask Krishna, He will give if you deserve it. If it is good for us, right? He gives. Same way, how we can understand when you have a tree at home, you don't water all the leaves, all the flowers, and all thorns or whatever the parts of the tree, the trunk. What you do, you put the water in the root, and it goes everywhere. Same way, our spiritual world also works. You do the bhakti of Krishna, and it goes all the way. All the people would be satisfied. We can take some example in the CEO also. If CEO is very happy from you, everyone would be happy. They have to be happy, even if they are not. Right? Because if they are not happy, it's not a problem for CEO or you. It's a problem with them. Right? Anything and they are out. So they will be happy. It goes everywhere. When you eat food, you eat from your mouth. It goes to stomach. You don't put every part food. And energy is distributed. Same way, when you do Krishna Bhakti, when you do Krishna consciousness activity, it goes all over. And everyone is happy. All the humanity is happy. Not only Devi Devatas. Everyone is happy. And so that's what is given here. Right. And service in Krishna consciousness is however best practiced under the guidance, under the able guidance of a spiritual master who is bona fide representative of Krishna, who knows the nature of the student and who can guide him to act in Krishna consciousness. So now we're talking about Shraddha and all. From where this Shraddha comes? Who can give Shraddha? Who can? Guru. Right. Someone who has Shraddha. Not just like saying Guru, it becomes theory. But who can give you, like, if you have to have 1 lakh rupees, who can give you 1 lakh rupees? Someone who has 1 lakh rupees, right? If you ask someone who has 100 rupees, please give me 1 lakh. From where he will give you? So same with Shraddha also. Someone who has Shraddha, they only can give Shraddha. Someone who has Bhakti, they only can give you Bhakti. Not anyone else. So Guru, the bona fide authoritative spiritual master, right? Who is coming from the parampara. He is the one who can give you bhakti. He is the one who can teach you what path you should take, how you can grow ahead. Right. So that's the point here written. So how do we get Shraddha? Brahmana Brahmite Kona Bhagavana Jiva Guru Krishna Prasad Pai Bhakti Lata Bija. Right. Guru Krishna Prasad. By Krishna Prasad, who is coming from the Guru. Someone gets the Bhakti Lata Bij. What is Bhakti Lata Bij? Anyone remembers? क्या है भक्ति लता में? Seed of what? Seed of bhakti. And where is the seed of bhakti? How do you say you have seed of bhakti? Then you get seed of bhakti. Okay, what else? So when you get association, you get seed of bhakti. Is that correct statement?
Just so trigger.
Seed is always there. Because we are soul, our connection with Krishna is always, it's eternal. That's why it's called Sanatan. our religion is called Sanatan Dharma because our relationship is eternal. It's not because the Hindu Dharma is coming from eternal. Hindu word you will not find in any of the Vedas. Any of the literature you will not find the word Hindu because that's a given in it. Uh, yeah, by the people who came from outside, from Middle East actually, right? That's not a word. So Sanatan because our relationship is Sanatan, eternal. So the beach is always there. Only thing that beach is right now at a arid land, banjar zameen pe, without water. So it's not coming out. But when we come under association or under the blessing, mercy of Guru Krishna Prasad, like Guru, what he does, he waters that tree, beach, and then the plant starts growing. It, the sapling comes out of that, and it starts growing. So beach is always there. That's what we have to remember. You were never without beach. That Bhakti Lata beach is always in us, right? Anytime. Even all the animals have that. But animals में नहीं आएगा वो, ठीक है? Because that's not their body form. That's not how, not the life which they can have this. Only in human life it gets into sapling form and then grows into a tree. So beach is always there. Guru does watering that beach. He gives the nutrition, he triggers that so that it comes out. So Guru Krishna Prasad by Bhakti Latavi. Right. So by satisfaction of the spiritual master, the supreme personality of Godhead becomes satisfied. And by not satisfying the spiritual master, there is no chance of being promoted on the plane of Krishna consciousness. Right? Because you cannot directly satisfy Krishna. He is not coming to us. We are not at that level that he is directly coming to us. For our level, he has given us the Guru, who are authorized Parshad of Krishna, right? Who is teaching you about Krishna. Someone who teaches you about God, someone who teaches you about Krishna. They are authorized people. Who are teaching you? You get their kripa, you serve them, and you are serving Krishna directly. Right? Like you earn something for your own business unit in IT language. You earn for the company. You don't directly earn for the company. You earn for your small business units, and then it goes up. The same way, satisfy your guru, who are nothing but representative of Krishna. Krishna will be satisfied. The whole process, however, depends on perfect knowledge of the soul beyond the conception of the body, not theoretically but practically. Not theory. बहुत लोगों को theory आती है. There are a lot of people who knows Bhagavad Gita end to end, all 700 sloka like this. But then they don't do anything. बस सोएंगे. What is the use of such knowledge which you are not even propagating into the world? अगर आप किसी को सिखा नहीं रहे हो तो क्या मतलब है? रट लिए मर जाएंगे फिर अगले जन्म में फिर वही रटेंगे. Right. That's the thing. Right. So any question? So that was the recap. Any question? हाँ. आपको कुछ तो आता है. अगर आपको ABCD आ गया तो आप छोटे बच्चों को ABCD सिखा सकते हो या नहीं? या आपको इंग्लिश में PhD करना है to teach ABCD to kids? जितना आया तो उतना सिखाइए. That is our level, right? We can only teach, like we just discussed. Someone who has Shraddha, someone who has Bhakti can only give us Bhakti. So we can only give that knowledge what we have. That's okay. That's perfectly fine. You will just tell them, you know only the one thing. Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. You met someone who does not know about Krishna. You tell, oh, we have a God called Krishna. He is Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is a cowherd boy. You can see he plays all the time in this Golok Vrindavan. Wow, someone is like that. ठीक है, that is enough. At least one time you'll say, oh, I heard his name Krishna one time from one Mataji. तो आपको जितना आता है उतना ही सिखाइए. That is not a problem. Right. Teaching about Krishna is important. Later he will take care. We don't have to worry. Any other question? All are not same. Bhakti is a top stage of, so Bhakti is a 9-stage thing. Adho Shraddha, then Sadhu Sang, and all those. The last stage is Bhakti, Prem. Right? Bhakti is a full, like, it's not like all other things are not Bhakti, but when you become pure Bhakti, when you get the Prem. Right? So Shraddha starts like, I have faith, yes. my guru told that Krishna is Supreme Personality of God. And yes, I don't know, I don't have the qualification to know that. But he told, I have full faith in my guru, I have Shraddha, what he is saying is right. Like we had the faith on our science teacher, electron, proton. किसने देखा electron, proton? Even they would have not seen. Electron microscope also cannot see electron. Right. The maximum they can see is the atoms. Right. That also in quite compact form. But means a lot of things together. Right. No one has seen electron. That's a concept. Right. But when science teachers say we just believe it. But what we don't believe, अरे ऐसे कैसे कह रहे हो कि भगवान एक ही है? What proof do you have? We never ask proof for electron, proton, quarks. 1 by 3 quarks, 2 by 3 quarks. Right. Never asked that. But अगर कोई कह दे कि कृष्णा is supreme person, prove it. As if you have done your PhD and you are asking for proof. And I'm not talking about you, Prabhuji. Don't take it on you. I'm talking about me. Right? Because I have gone to all those stages. Right? So I'm talking about me. We tend to become, our ego comes in. Arey, aise kaise? That is the problem. And so, Shraddha is having unflinching faith on Guru, on our Shastra, on Sadhu. Right? Bhakti is when we start practicing that. Now we have the faith, now we'll start learning, studying more about it, knowing more about it, and practicing in our life. That is called Bhakti. So, Shraddha is just a faith, right? And Bhakti is your lifestyle. और एक क्या आपने पूछा? No, Shraddha is English and it's called faith. It's same thing. Right. Any other question? Right? Okay, then we'll try to cover these three today. Right. Please repeat after me. Yamima pushpitam vacham pravadantya vipaschita vedavadaratam partha nanyadastiti vadina Yamimam pushpitam vacham pravadantya vipaschita vedavadaratam partha nanyadistiti vadina Anyone from Punjabi? हाँ अच्छा ठीक है कामात्मान स्वर्ग परा जन्म कर्म फल प्रदान क्रिया विशेष बहुलाम भोगैर्वस भोगैश्वर्यम गतिम भोगैश्वर्य गतिम प्रति कामात्मान स्वर्ग परा जन्म कर्म फल प्रदान क्रिया विशेष बहुलाम भोगैश्वर्य गतिम प्रति Anyone from Prabhuji? First floor.
Pushpitam vacham
Yeah, pushpitam vacham pravartyanta vipaschita vedavada hitam partha natyantasti divadini. Second. कामात्मान स्वर्ग पर जन्म कर्म क्रिया विशेष भोगैश्वर्य गति या पुष्पितं वाचं प्रवदन्त्य विपश्चिता वेदपादता पार्थ नान्यदस्तीति वाक्यम् कामात्मनः स्वर्गपरं जन्म कर्म फलप्रदम् क्रिया विशेष बहुला भोगैश्वर्य गति. So translation by his divine grace. Men of small knowledge are very much attached to the flowery words of the Vedas, which recommend various fruitive activities for the elevation to heavenly planets, resulted good birth, power, and so forth. Being desirous of sense gratification and opulent life, they say that there is nothing more than this. Right. So let's try to understand. So before this verse in 40:41, Krishna talked about the people uh, who are Vyavasai Nam or Avyavasai Nam. Right. Now he used the word Vipaschita. Avipaschita, sorry, not Vipaschita. Avipaschita. Avipaschita means less intelligence one. Who, yes, Avipaschita means less intelligence one. So what he says that the less intelligent people, the Avipaschita, are attached to Yamima Puspitam Vacham, means flowery words of the Vedas. They are attached to the flowery words of Vedas, the less intelligent people. Right? And how they are attached? Because those flowery words recommend Kriya Vishesh. Kriya Vishesh Bahulam here. Right? Kriya Vishesh means action. But here Kriya Vishesh, a special type of Kriya means it's written here. The fruitive activity. What is fruitive activities? Anyone remembers? Fruitive activity means? What we call it as. You are right. What we call it as? Karm Kand. Exactly. Fruitive activity means Karm Kand. So they are attached to the Karm Kand, fruitive activity, which gives a lot of hopes in attaining what they attain, the result, Kamatmana Swarga Para. So first they attain Swarga, heaven, and second they attain Janma Karma Phal Pradam, the good birth. Right? Janma Karma Phal Pradam. So they attain uh, this good birth in life. What is written here? Good birth, power, and so forth. Right. So Lord Srila Prabhupada is saying that, or Lord Krishna is saying that actually, these people are attached to flowery language of Veda Vadarata, flowery language of the Vedas, and what they think, Nanyas Dishti Tivadina. There is nothing more than that. They think that Vedas are only for doing karma, enjoying life, go to heaven, have a good birth, good life, right? And then there is nothing more than that. That's all we have to do. Right? Now, let's understand this in more detail. Right? So, Bhoga Aishwarya, what is Bhoga Aishwarya? Bhog means sense gratification, Aishwarya, opulence. Right. So, Bhoga Aishwarya is sense gratification and opulence. And that's what they think, there is nothing more than that. That's all. So, here Krishna is saying he less intelligence ones was thinking that going to heaven is all. That's all we have to do. Right? We say that स्वर्गवासी हो गए. कहते हैं ना? We, how many of you have heard स्वर्गवासी हो गए? ठीक. Is it good? स्वर्गवासी होना? नहीं? क्यों? स्वर्ग जाने को मिला? तो आप क्या कहोगे? कल को अगर कोई आएगा ऐसे कि मेरे एक चाचा थे वो स्वर्गवासी हो गए. अरे स्वर्गवासी हो गए. What you will say? तुम मत जाना, पिट के आओगे. Don't say those things. Even though what you are saying is absolutely right, don't say anything. ठीक. You say yes, they went to highest place. ठीक है. Highest destination. ठीक. Let them come to know that what is the highest destination. But don't say कि स्वर्ग is not. नहीं तो सच में बेचारे कार्ड पे छपवा दिए स्वर्गवासी हो गया, तो बोल के आ रहा स्वर्ग नहीं जाना था. It's like that. स्वर्ग पता है ना? हाँ हाँ हाँ, हमारे हमारे दादाजी वही गए. तुम नहीं जाना था. वहां नहीं जाना था. अरे पहले क्यों नहीं बताया? Right. So don't say that. But that is a misconception, right? 90% of the people think going to Swarg is the ultimate thing. 90 क्या? मतलब probably more than 90. हाँ probably.
प्रभु जी स्वर्ग से कोई भी हेवनली तक गए, कोई एक एग्जांपल.
प्रभु जी जा सकते हैं, लेकिन आपको फुल ऐश्वर्य, फुल भोग वाले प्लेस पे छोड़ दिया जाए, आप सोचोगे क्या कुछ हो? Just think about it. ठीक.
रिस्की है.
It is risky, obviously. That is the risk. That is the huge risk.
Next,
We'll discuss that. We'll discuss that in details, right? अगर आपको ऐसी जगह छोड़ दिया जाए, ठीक, जहाँ पे बढ़िया खाना मिलता हो, you get all the enjoyment in life, ठीक, कुछ करने के लिए नहीं है. Why would you think of leaving such place? That is the biggest risk actually.
So,
ठीक.
so the is always like
So we discuss a lot of times, right? कि what is the junction in this material world to go to Vaikuntha or to go to Golok Vrindavan? What is the junction? Earth, not Swargalok. When do you go to Swargalok? कब आप जाते हो? When you do all the good things, good karma आपने किया, not God related karma, but good karma. प्यासे को पानी पिलाया, पूरे टाइम समाज सेवा की, गरीबों को खाना खिलाया, कंबल बांटा, all the things you did the whole life, ठीक है, you did all the समाज सेवा, you gained a lot of good karma. Now you have to get a good result of it. Where you will go? क्योंकि यहाँ तो good result मिलेगा नहीं. 4 सेकंड में रसगुल्ला गायब हो जाएगा. ठीक. Any good things you see, it's all temporary. When they eat rasgulla then or whatever, right? I don't know whether they have rasgulla or we are only the fortunate ones, right? They might be having something better. When they get amrit, they enjoy the amrit for a long time, right? Not for a small time. So if someone has to enjoy, they will go to Swarg. But when all the good credits are gone, go back to earth, not Godhead. ठीक. We have to understand that from Swarg to earth, not upar.
उसकी बजाय किसी गरीब की शादी कराते, किसी को पढ़ाते, तो मैंने उसका कोई जवाब नहीं दिया. मैंने कहा इट्स माय चॉइस, बस ये कह के काम खत्म कर दिया. मगर ये कहाँ तक सच है, सही है?
यही तो वो है. किसी गरीब की शादी करा दो, ठीक, आपने शादी करा दी, आपको अच्छे क्रेडिट मिल गए, स्वर्ग जाइए, एंजॉय करिए, फिर से आइए, फिर से शुरू करिए, अगेन द सेम. That's what Lord is saying. The less intelligence ones think कि हेवन जाना ही सब कुछ है. हेवन कैसे जाते हैं? गुड चीजें करके, गरीब लोगों की शादी करा के. हाँ, आप कराइए शादी, नो वन इज सेइंग डोंट डू. उनको लेके आइए, वही 5 लाख रुपए में मंदिर में शादी करा दो, भगवान के सामने शादी कराओ. Do that. Keep God for, like we discussed 100 times this thing, right? Every single thing what we do in the material thing, thinking it's a good thing, we can do in relationship with God. आप उसको लेके जाइए, ठीक है, 5 लाख की बजाय 4 लाख में ही आपको इस्कॉन टेम्पल में शादी कराइए, ठीक है, थोड़ा वो उनकी तरफ से दान भी कर दीजिए, एंड देन गिव देम सम गुड बुक ऑल्सो, गिव देम सम गुड थिंग ऑल्सो. भगवान के सामने कर रहे हैं, शादी भी हो गई, सब कुछ हो भी गया, ठीक है, और भगवान का नाम भी मिल गया. एवरीथिंग बिकम कृष्णा, इट्स ऑल बिकम स्पिरिचुअलाइज्ड. दिस माइक, इवन दो इट्स मटेरियल, अगर मैं कल को बाहर खड़े होकर सोसाइटी में इफ आई यूज दिस फॉर सिंगिंग रैप सॉन्ग विथ ऑल द कर्स वर्ड, ठीक, छोड़ दो, ठीक है. ठीक है, अब इसका मतलब मत पूछो, ठीक. देन इट्स अ मटेरियल थिंग. आई एम यूजिंग दिस फॉर डूइंग भगवत गीता क्लासेस. दिस इज स्पिरिचुअलाइज्ड. दिस इज नॉट भौतिक, दिस इज अलौकिक, राइट? दिस इज आध्यात्मिक थिंग. The same thing we can use if we are using for Krishna consciousness, that becomes transcendental. Right? आप शादी कराइए, no problem. Make transcendental marriage. Why to make a small material marriage? Right? आप गए अभी, मतलब माता this is my मतलब anyway all the women are माता जी, but she is my real माता जी, right? So you लोग गए अभी शादी में, that marriage was in that marriage was in ISKCON temple. All the rituals were done according to all the same rituals, right? But as it is written in the Shastra, according to that, in temple, everyone ate prasadam. It becomes spiritual marriage. It is not material marriage anymore. कोई मना नहीं कर रहा, ठीक. और जो लोग आपसे ऐसा पूछते हैं कि बेटी की शादी करा दो, आप सीधे बोलिए हाँ, हर साल आके बेटी की शादी, हर जन्म में आके बेटी की शादी कराना पड़ेगा, ठीक. अगर मैं यहाँ 5 लाख दूंगी, I will go to Vaikuntha and I will see your marriage from top. जब आप कराओगे then I will see you from the top. I have to decide that. You can decide what you want to do. Every life you want to get someone married by your money, or you want to see from the top कि आपके साथ वाले शादी करा रहे हैं. This choice is ours. Right? हर लाइफ में आके शादी कराना है, या आराम से कृष्णा के साथ खेलना है एंड देन ऊपर से लोग को भाई शादी यहाँ की बजाय वहां करा दो वी हैव टू टेल दैट ठीक बट हाँ ठीक है फालतू में डिस्कशन करने का कोई मतलब नहीं है बिकॉज जिसका जब टाइम आता है देन ओनली दे अंडरस्टैंड you can teach them if they are not agreeing that's fine if they are agreeing then also fine you can tell them alternative yes you can get it done you can do it there right यार कितनों की शादी कराओगे आप you can get married one girl you can get married 2 20 how many there are hundreds thousands of girls who are waiting for this आप कितनी करा लोगे हाँ वही माता जी that's the problem right they think that I achieved something because I got someone married सामूहिक विवाह करा दिया and achieved something and that gives them pride right तो मैंने तो एक शादी कराई थी but then what आप हर जन्म में आके शादी कराओगे ना फिर कितनों की करा लोगे but when you get someone same person when you get someone get married into say a ISKCON temple or any temple let's say ठीक है with proper Vedic culture in relationship with Krishna and all those things right when you do something you are giving them bhakti lata beej ठीक आप उनके उसको ट्रिगर कर रहे हो you are influencing them maybe next life you are opening the way for them to go to Golok Vaikuntha जबकि आप यहाँ शादी कराओगे क्या करोगे again you are not giving them Krishna right if you are not giving them Krishna then it's nothing so we discussed that there's a verse comes from Rishabdev. Rishabdev was a king, a great king. Right, he is also considered as one of the avatar of Krishna. So he had 100 sons, and he was telling his sons that no one should become mother, father, guru, administrator, a king, or some more things he told, unless he ensures that the people whom he is responsible for, right, he gives them a chance to get liberated. Unless he makes sure that they will get moksha, no one should become even father, mother, guru, teacher, king, whatever. Right? That is what he tells his sons. बहुत बहुत बड़ी बात है, right? But unless you ensure कि आप शादी करा रहे हो, unless you ensure that they will not take birth again here, then it's a useless. Right? Will also how we can understand anything in relationship with Krishna is one. Right? Anything which is not in relationship with God is zero. You can have in your bank account you can have 100 zeros. What's the value? Zero. But after 100 zeros there is one whose bank account will be higher. Or you have just one digit, one in your bank account, and someone has 100 zeros in your bank account. Who's having higher? One, right? Just single digit higher than 100 different digits. So that you can do 100 marriages. It has of no value, right? But someone does one single thing, one single marriage in Krishna consciousness. That has a way greater value than all those 100 marriages combined, right? So that's the concept of 1 and 0, or binary concept. Okay. So, now coming to that, any question?
Why the reference flowery words of the
We'll come to that. वो आपको बताना है. I'll not tell. That आप सोच लीजिए. But in previous section, when we were discussing about Karma Kanda, in 2.37, Krishna says that, O son of Kunti, either you will be killed on the battlefield and attain the heavenly planet, or you will conquer and enjoy the earthly kingdom. Therefore, get up with determination and fight. Here Krishna is saying that, do your fighting, because even if you die, you will go to the heavenly planet. Here is he was recommending heavenly planet. But in this verse, he is condemning the heavenly planet. That less intelligence ones are going to heavenly planet. Why? Why this Virodhabhas? Why this controversy? What he is trying to say? तो क्या हुआ भगवान के आप कौन सी बात मानोगे भगवान की जस्ट वन श्लोक 37 और हम कहाँ पे 42 5 slokas 4 sloka in between but you are right because that time we were discussing about the karma kanda people who are on the level of karma kanda for material benefit, it was teaching for them. Even if you want to do material benefit, you want to achieve that, at least do your duty. Because if you do your duty, the good karma, लोगों की शादी कराना, ठीक है, और प्यासों को पानी पिलाना, at least good karma will do. You'll go to the heavenly planet. At least do good karma. Do your duty. You are a Kshatriya, your duty is to fight. So do your duty. And you will get to heavenly planet. But when he started Niskam Karma from 38 onwards, 39 onwards, then he started full level high. Now he goes to the higher level of his spiritual about Niskam Karma, not worrying about the result, right? But just doing something in relationship with Lord. Right? So that's why previously, because he was talking about Karma Kanda, so he told that. But now he is talking about Niskam Karma, Buddhi Yoga, so he's talking more for things for more intelligent people. Right? So our Vedic knowledge, it does not leave anyone. Everyone has something for them. Even if someone does not believe in God, they have the Charvak principle. They can follow that. Live life and eat, drink ghee, take that, drink ghee. Yeah, that, right. Who has seen what happens after that? We have that also. बहुत बढ़िया रेटिव अगली क्लास में कौन मिलेगा
It's the second step.
हाँ,
Preaching.
बच्चों की क्लास
Second class.
छोटे बच्चों की यू कैन टीच चिल्ड्रन व्हाट यू नो राइट वी जस्ट डिस्कस उनको तो कुछ नहीं आता है राइट सो yeah that's it so now coming to your question why it is called flowery language के ऊपर you wrote Krishna and put a one flower on top huh? That's why it's called flowery language कहाँ है flower दिखाओ show me the flower so why it's called flowery language what is flowery language first of all let's flowery language how can you synonym of flowery language okay yes what else sweet talk right how about that sugar coated words right, exactly right so these are flowery language so now you know what is flowery language flattery sugar coated word sweet words where in your daily life you see this use of this flowery language impress who girlfriend प्रभु जी शर्मा आ गए आई नो मतलब अभी आपका टाइम नहीं पहले था हाँ मतलब दैट्स आल्सो वन ट्रू थिंग जिसको भी इम्प्रेस करना है यूज फ्लावरी लैंग्वेज वो वेयर एल्स हाँ प्रीचिंग में भी होता है कौन कौन मुझे कर रहा है मुझे तो आज तक किसी ने फ्लावरी लैंग्वेज नहीं बोला हाँ करते हैं ठीक है आई विल आस्क दैट क्वेश्चन लेटर थैंक यू फॉर रिमाइंडिंग और कब वर्क प्लेस मैनेजर की हाँ क्लास में तो बहुत होता है ताकि एक एक्स्ट्रा 0.5 नंबर मिल जाए ना या क्लास मॉनिटर बना दिया जाए वेयर एल्स why they use flowery language what you will give to them chit in the exam देखो कर सकते हैं हम मतलब बट आप डेली लाइफ में ऐसा करते हो क्या आप लेट्स लीव भक्ति पार्ट अभी आप डेली लाइफ में वेयर डू यू सी लाइक प्रभु जी सेड ठीक है इन वर्क प्लेस इन स्कूल राइट वेयर एल्स यू सी ऐसे जस्ट सम एग्जांपल रैंडम एग्जांपल दैट्स फाइन अच्छा मतलब पता नहीं ओके आई डोंट थिंक इन माय ऑफिस दे विल एग्री विद दैट बट ओके नियर एंड डियर से आप नहीं करते नियर डियर से आप नहीं करते हो दैट इज द इवन आई एम गिविंग माय एग्जांपल ठीक है आई एम मोर रफ टू नियर एंड डियर पीपल सब लोग मुझे बोलते ही रहते हैं देन टू आउटसाइडर्स सो क्योंकि नियर एंड डियर है तो हमारे अपने हैं right? बुरा नहीं मानेगा सोच के हम और बुरा करते हैं दैट्स अ प्रॉब्लम इन आवर लाइफ बिकॉज वी थिंक दैट ये तो क्या ही है घर की मुर्गी दाल बराबर राइट हाँ we should talk to everyone right why to have two face मतलब it's for me actually I'm not talking about anyone else it's more for me I keep on getting this on daily basis but yeah that's problem in us right. But okay coming back to the topic where else do you see this flowery language जैसे right, tied. Your clothes will be fully white. Right. And the flowery language actually are used to make us fool. Mostly. Right. You go to your manager and say, sir, मतलब क्या आपके अंदर तो टीम ऐसी है भले ही सब फ्रस्ट्रेटेड हो बंदा खुद भी फ्रस्ट्रेटेड हो आपके अंदर तो टीम मतलब दिस इज लाइक द बेस्ट टीम इन अमेज़न एनीवन फ्रॉम अमेज़न व्हाटएवर ठीक है यू हैव द बेस्ट मैनेजर इन अमेज़न ठीक प्रमोशन होते ही यार या पीछे उसके पीठ पीछे समथिंग एल्स right so something like that which makes people fool the flowery language used for that 7 days glowing skin the fair skin right or when you go to the even roadside palmist what they will say they'll tell all good things आपके उसमें तो राजयोग लिखा है राजयोग भले भंगी की तरह घूम रहे सड़क पे मतलब जेब में एक अठन्नी भी नहीं है बट अच्छे कपड़े पहने आपके में तो राजयोग लिखा आप राजा बनोगे राजा और फिर थोड़ा सा कुछ उल्टा सीधा भी बता देगा कि ये पूजा करा लो आप तो एकदम वो कहेगा अरे बट मैं राजा कैसे बन सकता हूँ मेरे पास तो 10 रुपए भी नहीं है हाँ अब मुझे पता चला क्योंकि ये वाली जो लाइन है ना दिस इज सेइंग दैट देयर इज वन ऑब्स्टिकल यू गेट दिस पूजा डन फ्रॉम मी एंड दिस विल बी गॉन फ्लावरी लैंग्वेज दैट्स हाउ इट इज यूज्ड और इन मूवीज ये चांद सरोसन चेहरा ये पापा से पूछ रहा ठीक और यू विल नो व्हेन द टाइम कम्स ठीक है ठीक और अनदर एग्जांपल
अच्छे बनिए
अच्छे बनिए
नहीं है ये अच्छे बनिए नहीं है ठीक ये है आपकी सारी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो जाएगी यू जस्ट वोट फॉर मी every home will have 24/7 water 24/7 electricity right after after you do the voting for 5 years this guy will be retired nahi not found error 4 not 4 right so that is flowery language or in sales right this is the best product you will ever get you cannot get anything better than this deal done or workplace office right boss आपसे अच्छा तो कोई नहीं है and this also very relevant ठीक in these days क्या है ये without flowery language this cannot happen this is something when someone from other faith they changes their name and get the girls in trap right and what they do a new movie is also coming on the same right this cannot happen without flowery language so these are the daily examples right those things all happen so yeah all for Jannat all for that is a heaven Jannat right all for Jannat so Srila Prabhupada writes people in general are not very intelligent and due to their ignorance they are most attracted nahi attached most attached to the fruitive activities recommended in the karma kanda portion of the Veda they do not want anything more than the sense gratificatory proposals for enjoying life in heaven where wine and women are available and material opulence is very common so what they think that is the essence of Veda do karma kanda get the good deed go to heaven enjoy somras and women right. There is a faith which does everything for virgin women right we just saw that all for Jannat and 72 right all for that so there are people like that who think that ki only if we do this karma kanda that's the only Vedas right and we have to enjoy then again we'll come back they think that's the life and that's how it goes on they don't think anything elevated from that so Srila Prabhupada explained when with poor fund of knowledge think that this is the whole purpose of Vedic wisdom right so he used the word here Vedrata right Vedvadarata right what is the meaning of Vedvadarata what do we understand by Vedvadarata anything नाम में ही है
words of Vedas.
So someone who follows the Veda talks about Veda, exactly.
Sorry.
मतलब आप तो पूरा मतलब आप explanation बता रहे हो, but वेद वादकता literally means someone who follows the Vedas and he talks about Vedas. Right? Those people are called Veda Vadanta. But the problem with those people are our Vedas, by the way, are we discussed that also before that it is a huge portion of our Vedas is about what? About what? Karma Kand. Right, around 65 to 70% or maybe even more talks about karma kand. Do this puja, you'll get that. Do this vrat, you'll get that. You have this problem, do this, you'll get that. Means a transaction. Do this, you'll get this. That's what it talks about. I would not even call it's not sakam karma, it's a karma kand only. And if someone is like talking about Veda, they think that Vedas is everything, and they don't know the essence of Veda, then they will be stuck here. Like the example here, it's given in Jyotish Toma sacrifices, the Jyotish Toma Yajna, where they do the yajna to gain something. Aswamedh Yajna, Rasu Yajna, all those yajna are all that type only. I'll become the king of the world by doing Aswamedh Yajna, right? Or Rajsu Yajna, I'll gain more kingdom. So like that. So those are all such kind of people called Vedavadarta. Right. But the problem with that is they miss the essence of Vedas. And what is the essence of Vedas? So a major part of the Vedas is Karma Kand. But also Vedas also teach about the Gyan Kand and Upasana Kand. So and those comes at the end. So what is the essence of the Vedas? Nahi. Exactly. Hari, Krishna, right? To go back to Godhead, right? Get out of this world. Go back to Vaikuntha. That is the essence, but they don't understand. They get stuck into that. Right. So that's what it's written here. Now, why do Veda talk so much about Karma Kand? Then the question comes: if the essence of Vedas is Hari, if the essence of Vedas is to go back to Godhead, right? Then why it is talks a lot about Karma Kand? रिवीजन है ये सब हमने डिस्कस किया क्यों
Because we are very full. So that's why to make us understand.
okay that's one way to understand okay because people are in general very much fallen so to make them understand they talk about karma kand any other thing?
The cycle.
By karma kanda you can never go out of cycle of birth and death no way
Develop faith in Vedas.
to develop faith in Vedas yes because once you develop faith in Vedas then you start reading it once you complete this section then only you can go to other section right then you'll like, oh okay now I understand this now I understand the depth of it right. Someone teaches ABCD they will teach ABCD only right but then when you start making words and sentences then you actually realize the use of that right so it starts with the small things Veda start with karma kand you do this and you'll get this. Then they start developing faith. Okay, I'm getting this. That means whatever is written is true. And when they develop that faith, when they go to the Upasana Kand and Gyan Kand also, right, they understand, because it was true before, it won't be like it is false now. It is truth. And they will understand more easily. What else? Why else?
That not every human being is at the same level.
Correct.
So at least they will start doing some karma.
Yeah. The same thing what Mukund also said. Like not everyone is at the same level. Right. So someone who is completely atheistic, at least they will start doing something. Slowly they will because the essence of all our everything we do in our religion is to progress in our spiritual path. Go towards Krishna. Everything what we do is to go towards Krishna. Even if we do puja of Devi Devta, that also, so that they can give us some mercy, they give us some mercy. Even if we don't want, we don't even know, right? They give us some mercy, next life, slowly we'll get elevated and we'll go towards that. Right? Everything takes us there. When we do some vrat, it is like for doing the renunciation, so that later on when we do this, it will be easy for us. Right? So every purpose of everything what we do in our dharma, in our Sanatan dharma, is to go towards God. Right? Everything takes us there. Right? So that's those are our correct reasons, right? That's why Vedas talk so much about karma card, to elevate the people who are not at that level yet. Right? Not everyone does the PhD, right? But you'll see more students in the high school and inter than in I've taken PhD or master and PhD. That's how it is. That's why karma kanda is more success. Now, Srila Prabhupada here talks about, and last, as fools are attached to the flowers of poisonous tree without knowing the results of such attractions, unenlightened men are similarly attracted by such heavenly opulence and sense enjoyment thereof. Very important. He compares this type of people who believes in the karma kanda part of the Vedas. Only that is everything. Who believes in that part? He compares them to the people who are attracted to the flowers of poisonous tree. Right. So one story actually. It's a real story of His Holiness Radhana Swami Maharaj. So when he was in Italy, um, he was just roaming. So he left everything, his home, his everything. He left there, and he was just searching for answers. Right. And he was trying to find out where. So he studied all. He studied Islam. He studied Bauddha Dharma. He studied all kinds of religion to find out, and he was never satisfied until he came here. Right. So when he was in Italy trying to find the answer for his life, the purpose of his life, so that time he was in jungle passing by. So he and his friend they saw fruit of this time, right? And they were going to eat it. But then when they were going to eat it, someone came and stopped. Don't eat it. Right? It's a poison. It looks very shiny. It looks exactly like berry, right? But it's a poison. So they did not eat. Then they gave me, you take this berry and you eat this. It was not attractive at all. Like this, you see very shiny. It reflects a lot of light and all, right? But that was a simple, not very attractive. Looks like okay, it's something old. धुल के ही खाना पड़ेगा. This one you like, पोछो या directly खा लो. You don't even have to worry, right? And that was tasty. That was edible. So bhakti also sometimes it feels like that. It becomes like it's not attractive. यार क्या है 16 माला करो ठीक है पूजा पाठ करो भगवान का नाम लो ये क्या ये सब करना है अरे कभी कभार go do some yajna do some puja do once in a while Satyanarayan puja that's it right why we have to do all those things every on daily basis and all those things right? So bhakti also looks like that but that's what Srila Prabhupada compares it like it's just like a poisonous fruit. We don't know that. Why it is poisonous fruit now? Why does he say that it is like a poisonous fruit? Now that is the answer of the question actually, which I think you asked or someone asked. Why it is called poisonous fruit?
It's like why this cycle of
Exactly right. Poisonous fruit. I'll do this. I'll get good karma. Same thing. What we are discussing. गरीब मतलब क्या कहते हैं गरीब बच्चियों की शादी करा दो. Poisonous fruit here, right? What it will do? It will give us good deed. हाँ exactly. आपको good deed मिलेगा. You'll go to heaven, enjoy, and then again come back here. And then again someone, another Mataji will come and say, अरे ये 5 लाख मंदिर पे देने की बजाय ठीक है ये 10 लोगों को कंबल ही दे देते अच्छा वाला या 100 लोगों को. And then you are again you give the कंबल और फिर अगले जन्म में वो कंबल लेके आ पाएंगे. So that's what will happen. That's a poison fruit because it keeps us stuck in this cycle of birth and death. Again and again and again you have to take but doing the same thing. You are here, enjoy here, you are here, do the good deeds, go to heaven, enjoy, come back here, go to good deeds. Yes.
So for every enjoyment from far it looks very beautiful. Since if you go near,
Every what?
every enjoyment from far it looks
German.
amazing.
Enjoyment, okay. No German.
So basically as you go more close
Towards it.
so look,
Yeah,
it's not
that's true.
it's poison.
Or you may enjoy but it will be temporary. We may not understand. Like if you are simply eating anything right on the, matlab, you are diabetic and you are eating rasgullas. It is tasty. You enjoy it, but then you already have sugar. You get I don't know what else. A lot of things. Right. Long term effect. You never know. We all are waiting for long term effect of COVID vaccines. Let's see where it takes us. No, don't worry. Everything happens for a reason. Krishna will take care. जाएंगे तो फिर आ जाएंगे या कहीं और ही चले जाएंगे. Right. So that's why it is compared with the poisonous fruit, because the it gets us stuck in this cycle of birth and death, and our life, human life, is not meant for that. It should be for higher purpose. It is meant for the higher purpose, because these things even animals do that, right? They enjoy, they sleep better than us, enjoy, eat food. They don't have to work for a manager or a company. Everything is morning when they'll wake up, go find some food, eat, and then enjoy. They do some mating in their mating season, have 20 puppies, and have more enjoyment. Right. So what are we doing here? So our life is for the higher goal. Human life is given for the higher purpose. And because we are getting stuck into these things, forgetting that what is the goal of our life, that's why it's compared with the higher, poisonous fruit. How we can understand is something like this. You have a Mercedes and you are plowing a field using your Mercedes. Right. हाँ, मतलब जो भी समझो. So हम भी पागल ही हैं, right? That is the kind of पागल we are. Human life में जानवर ऐसे ही सोचते हैं पागल है क्या? ये तो काम तो हम करते हैं. ठीक है, ऐसे वो भी सोचते होंगे. Just we cannot understand. Human life मिला है और हमारे से भी बकवास काम कर पागल है क्या ये सब? That's what they would be thinking about us. Right. जैसे आपने सोचा. So then the real story comes in the same way. Anyone knows this story? Just a side note. So there was a king. It's a real story in British era. There was a king of Amer, Raja Jai Singh. So during British rule, he went to London and he was in the normal clothes and he tried to enter Rolls Royce showroom. This is Rolls Royce. And the salesman there said, Indians, मतलब he insulted him. तुम्हारी औकात नहीं है, मतलब this is beyond your capacity. Get out. And he felt very insulted. So what he did when he came to India, he asked his assistant to call, and they ordered 6 or 7 Rolls Royce. And what they did, they put the broom in front of it. On behind of Rolls Royce, they put the garbage collection thing. Right. And they use those Rolls Royce, which only used to go for selling only by the recommendation of people who have the Rolls Royce. It was the highest status of the material thing you can think of in automobile. Right. And he used as a garbage van. And this news is spread like a wildfire. Rolls Royce came through and they gave him free more 6 Rolls Royce and they said, please stop doing that. So using Rolls Royce for garbage collection is what we are doing with our human life. Right. So that's what animals are also thinking. क्या पागल लोग हैं यार. Right. This is right. So yeah, that's a real story by the way in British. Yeah, it is real. I'm not making it up. You see the photo, and it's not AI generated. Right. So let's see the purport. What Srila Prabhupada says then. Even on this earth, some are very eager to have som rasa, to become strong and fit to enjoy sense gratification. Such person have no faith in liberation from material bondage, and they are very much attracted to pompous ceremonies of Vedic sacrifice. So what they're doing, we read the word like Bhoga and Aishwarya. So they think the purpose of the Vedas are to achieve Bhoga and Aishwarya. Right. That's what they do all these things. It is understood that there are garden called Nandan Kanan. This is this is an illustration of Nandan Kanan. Yes, that is the name of it, but our scripture says that in Indraloka, there is a garden called Nandan Kanan where there is unlimited women, wine, sobras, and right? Like we're discussing, some people of some faith are like that, whose ultimate goal is women and खैर wine तो नहीं है, ठीक है, but at least women, right? So that's what it is. So some people have like they think like uh, there are gardens called Nandankanan in which there is good opportunity to be associated with angelic beautiful women and have the profuse supply of sonorous wine. Go and enjoy. They think that's it. Like that's the whole purpose. बनाया है ना, तो अगर नहीं बनाते तो पता कैसे चलता? Then how someone will get frustrated by this? हो सकता है हम भी पिछले पिछले जन्म में स्वर्ग से आए. Exhausting all our credits. नंदन कानन से back to नाला गंडला. Right. Right. तेलंगाना तो ये भी अच्छा है. ठीक है, तो हाँ, तो Srila Prabhupada condemns such kind of behavior highly. Like these kind of people he condemns. Like only working for going to heaven, that's only fool's mentality is what they do. And um, yeah, in our life also we see that. A lot of people is do in the war range. Who has seen that show? Huh? Has anyone seen that show in the morning? Horoscope? No one? How come? मतलब मेरे घर में तो रोज मम्मी लगा के बैठ जाती है सुबह, बेटा आज ये करो ऐसा होगा, मम्मी क्षमा, राइट, आज के दिन ये कपड़ा पहनो, टुडे दिस क्लोथ एंड टुडे दैट दान, डू दिस डू दैट एंड देन यू विल गेट, धन हानि रुक जाएगी, मतलब यू विल योर क्या कहते हैं धन हानि रुकना, मतलब your wealth loss will be stopped and your income will be increased. That's what is written. If you do this, that's what people do. And that's why these shows also thrive, right? These shows thrive only for that reason. You have this problem, do this, it will be solved. You have that problem, do this puja. You have this other problem, you do this charity, and your problem will be solved. And people do this. They get that. Do they get that? What do you think? No? मिलता है कि नहीं मिलता है? अगर नहीं मिलता तो why it is flowery language? Huh? They get it. Yes, they get it. Short time, long time छोड़ दो. अगर किसी को घर ही चाहिए, घर मिल गया तो short, long क्या है? They got the home, right? But they get it, yes, and that's why the faith gets built. Right? These things are not like कि they will not. हाँ, मतलब unless someone is like potent, someone is like अच्छे से the ritual came had happened in the proper manner, they will get it. Because if you are going to the officer for getting the birth certificate, you will get it. It's not like you will not get it. So these kind are not false thing, but then it's a poisonous fruit. We have to understand that it is not false, but it is not the ultimate goal also. Right? When we understand that, then we'll understand the goal of life is not to solve the problems of this world or settling here. Like people do this problem for then is solved. But we have to understand that our goal of life is not to solve the problem of this world. Because you'll solve one problem, 10 more will come. You can never solve all problem in life. So why to go to a place where you are going to solve the problem only? Think in that way, you are in your company, there is a team which is all problematic. People are like that, right? They create problem from everywhere and someone asks you to move to that team. Would you like to move to that team? You think like I'm a great problem solver and someone says that you move to that team. Then how about it? Your reputation is at stake, great problem solver. Right? People will still think, yaar, kyun फालतू के पैसे पढ़ना? Team is like that. I'll solve one problem. These guys are like that. They'll create 10 more problems. You'll not go. Then why are we doing this here? Trying to solve the problem one by one, and it keeps on coming. That's what we are doing, right? But that's not. We don't have to settle here to solve the problem of one after another. That's what we have to understand. Not settling here. Go back to Vaikuntha. Right. So our goal is not for the lower things like sense gratification and the material opulence, but our goal is higher, going back to Golok Vrindavan, not settling here. Right? Any question? We'll finish next one in 15 minutes. Is that okay? Right. So let's go to that. Bhagavad Gita 2.44. Bhoga Aishwarya Prasattanam Tayapa Chetasam Vyavasayatmika Buddhi Samadho na Vidhiyate Bhoga Aishwarya Prasattanam Tayapa Chetasam Vyavasayatmika Buddhi Samadho na Vidhiyate. Anyone from Prabhu's side? Bhogaishwarya Prasattanam Taya Pahrita Chetasam Vyavasayatmika Buddhi Samadho na Vidhiyate. Anyone from Mata's side? Bhogaishwarya Prasattanam Taya Pahrita Chetasam Vyavasayatmika Buddhi Samadho na Vidhiyate. So translation by U.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. In the minds of those who are too attracted to sense enjoyment and material opulence, and who are bewildered by such things, the resolute determination for devotional service to the Supreme Lord does not take place. Right. Let's understand that in detail. Right. So here some similar words came from the previous one. Bhoga Aishwarya. Right. Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. Right. Here another word also comes. Samadhi. Right. So let's understand that. Samadhi, right? Samadho. Means in the minds of. In the minds of who? Bhoga Aishwarya Prasattanam. The people who are thinking only about the Bhoga and Aishwarya. Right. Those who are too much attached to Bhoga and Aishwarya. Now what happens? Taya Pahrita Chetasam. That means they get bewildered by those things. They get bewildered by the such things like Bhoga and Aishwarya. Right. And then what happens? Right. Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. The resolute determination for devotional service for such people, their resolution, their one-minded focus, right? Na vidhiyate does not take place. That's what it says that. Means the people who are too much attached to this Bhoga and Aishwarya, this material opulence and the sense enjoyment, their mind gets kidnapped. Their the Vyavasayatmika Buddhi, enlightened action, right? What we discussed. Their intelligence gets kidnapped by Bhog and Aishwarya. And what happened? They can not get the one single resolute mind. Right? They cannot focus their mind for one thing. Right? So what is now? Let's discuss that even in more detail. Right? Any question here? We'll discuss that anyway. So what is the difference between Bhog and Aishwarya? We discussed in two verses, Bhog, Aishwarya. What is Bhog? And what is Aishwarya? That's all. Bhog means Indriya Tripti. Okay? Yes? Bhog means sense enjoyment, sense gratification. And Aishwarya means material opulences. Strength, knowledge, wealth, right? All those things are Aishwarya. Now, one thing to understand that what is even worse, Bhog or Aishwarya? What do you think is worse? Both are worse. What is worst? Bhog is worse. Okay. How? Okay. Indra Tripti means okay. If we are in Indra Tripti, then how will we understand some? But what about Aishwarya? Even Aishwarya says that, right? You get Aishwarya because of material things.
You can also use it for the Lord's service.
That is a separate level. That is a different thing. That's not part of Bhoga and Aishwarya.
Both are
So what is worse? Having a lot of Indra Tripti or Ghaman or whatever? Aishwarya means yes, man, samman, pratishtha. These things are which satisfies our ego. That is Aishwarya. And Bhog means satisfies our indri. What is worse? Aishwarya is worse, right? Because think of that indri tripti. Someone has a lot of I want to. They are so passionate about sense enjoyment for eating, for like say uh, intimate desires. They cannot have a lot, right? It is always limited. You cannot do. You cannot eat a lot of. One time you have to leave. You eat 10 rasgulla and then this is it. Even if I want, I cannot. But Aishwarya is something, it is unlimited. It has never ending. I have 20 billion. I need 20 billion more. I only 2,000 people give me respect. I want 20,000 people to give me respect. Right? I'm Prime Minister of this country. I want people of all countries know me as the Prime Minister or they think me as a greatest leader of the world. That is never ending. And Aishwarya is something which binds us even more than Bhog. Because Bhog is related to your Indri and your Indri actually has a limit. It is your gross body. Gross body has a limit. But Aishwarya, your subtle body does not have a limit. Man, Samman, Pratishtha. Right? So it is even worse because it's unlimited. So yeah, that is the difference between Bhog and Aishwarya. Right? So again another word comes here, Samadhi. Right? What is Samadhi? What do you understand by Samadhi? Okay. Samadhi means when we start thinking about Lord. Okay, that is Samadhi. Anything else? Where do you hear the word Samadhi? Everywhere. Samadhi when someone goes away. Generally, that's what we think Samadhi means. Samadhi le liya. But that's not Samadhi really. Right. So Samadhi is any other. Anyone else? Samadhi.
Focus.
One pointed focus. Yeah, that's correct, right? So Samadhi is a stage in Ashtanga Yoga. It's the last stage of Ashtanga Yoga. It starts with Yam, like ethical thing, doing the proper things. Then Niyam, doing the practices, Asana, Pranayam, then Pratyahar, doing only those things what is required, eating only that much what you need, having only those things in life what you need, not more. Pratyahar. Then Dharan, starting concentration, dhyan, you are into meditation. And samadhi is the last stage of the yoga, is samadhi. Right, where you start actually getting the pure bliss. This is called samadhi. So, samadhi is not the end stage. End stage means not the end of life. Okay, when you are in samadhi, you are gone. Samadhi means even in our real life, when we are focused on one thing, when we are focused on Krishna consciousness, when we are focused on bhakti, that is called samadhi. Right. So Srila Prabhupada writes here, in his purport, samadhi means focused mind, right? A fixed mind towards bhakti or towards Krishna consciousness. Right. So are we at samadhi? No. So any example where you felt that you are determined, someone is like very much determined, I will do bhakti. But have you seen any example in Krishna consciousness where they felt like their their determination is broken? Like what they decided, it's not working and it is broken. Yes.
Probably I talked about three, but unfortunately was unable to have it because of its volumes.
Okay.
That was
That's
the
one thing.
most-
Broken because of such condition. Where else? Where else do you think someone who was very Krishna conscious? He was like great devotee and then suddenly something happened. Not anymore. Or happened with us also actually. A lot of times. आज तो 16 माला बिना कुछ सोचे करना है केवल कृष्णा के बारे में ही सोचना है राइट वी थिंक एवरी मॉर्निंग राइट ठीक एटलीस्ट करना है दैट इज इम्पोर्टेंट कीप डूइंग बट एनी एग्जांपल वेयर दिस काइंड ऑफ थिंग हैपन कुछ भी सोचिए मतलब in someone's life Prabhuji was in voice you can give a good example हाँ, माता जी. You can give a good example for this. An example in life where you think someone's determination was broken. मतलब कभी तो स्ट्रॉन्ग रहा होगा, कभी जब आप वॉइस में थे, you would be reading daily morning श्रीमद् भागवतम, playing मंगला आरती, and then what happened? Then job लग गई, शादी हो गई, बच्चे हो गए, भोग and ऐश्वर्य. Association छूट गया, absolutely. Right. Any other example? कुछ ऐसा, जैसे एक है, शादी हो गई, पहले तो भाई बड़े भक्त थे, शादी होते ही सब कुछ नीचे हो गया. आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि शादी नहीं करना है, इट डज नॉट मीन दैट. आपकी शादी हुई प्रभु? हाँ ठीक है, तो अच्छी बात है, बुरा मत मानिएगा. राइट. बट या दैट इज वन ऑफ द एग्जांपल. एनीथिंग एल्स? चलिए मैं एग्जांपल देता हूँ. ठीक, जस्ट दैट्स वन एग्जांपल. बिफोर मैरिज डिटर्मिनेशन वाज लाइक आज तो जिम में 8 पैक, 6 छोड़ो 8 पे. शादी के बाद शॉपिंग बैग्स. राइट. सो शादी के पहले इस जन्म में तो निकल ही जाना है, व्हाटएवर हैपेंस. शादी के बाद भोग एंड ऐश्वर्य आएंगे. वही तो है वहां पे, फैमिली पैक के साथ आएगा. राइट. Someone gets into the job, right? It's a very lucrative job. Someone like, I want to get promotion, I want to earn more and more and more money. I remember Mataji initially, right, asked that question. Right. When Mataji asked that question, he, Prabhuji, is that bad to earn more money in the job? Right? अगर किसी को याद है, ठीक है. It's not bad, but then if it is compromising your bhakti, it is bad. Right? Because Bhoga and Aishwarya. Correct. We need to know where it is, how it is going to affect. So we have a lot of determination कि हम तो भक्ति करेंगे, एक हफ्ते में इस मंथ एक बुक पढ़नी है, श्रीमद् भागवतम का ये चैप्टर खत्म करना है, एंड देन ऑफिस से बहुत काम था, प्रमोशन का टाइम आ रहा है, प्रेशर का टाइम एंड ऑल दोस थिंग. ठीक है, इफ आई विल नॉट डू दिस एंड ऑल गॉन. Some place like that, right? Office parties, everyone is drinking. अरे अरे भाई क्या एक बार पी लो, कल से भक्ति करना, कल एक एक्स्ट्रा राउंड कर लेना, सब कर रहे चलो. If you are not resolute, if you are not fixed mind, this will happen. Right? Willpower goes very easily. If you are not serious about it, or someone who is not serious about it, it goes just like that. They're like कि हाँ मंदिर गए थे, थोड़ा कुछ सुनने को मिला, then ऑफिस की पार्टी भी तो जरूरी है. Right? And that will happen. Or people like us, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. India, 20 na Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram. That is every morning with determination. 16th round, no distraction. Hare Krishna, Krishna. Right? That is. So that's what Srila Prabhupada is saying that. Um, this is the root cause, Bhoga and Aishwarya. So what he's talking about here in this verse is about the fixed mind, the focused mind, right? Samadhi. Now the question comes here. Right. Okay. Okay. Before that question comes, what is the, like you see that these things generally happens with the devotees who are not with the fixed mind, who are not resolute. Devotees like us, who are at the lower stage, कनिष्ठ अधिकारी, कनिष्ठ भक्त का है, अधिकारी भी क्या ही का. शर्म आ रही खुद को अधिकारी भी करते हो, ठीक है. We are not अधिकारी, we are not at that level, right? So who are trying, practicing devotees? This happens at the last stage, but then there are advanced devotees. With them that will not happen. So what is the measure of someone who is advanced devotee? आपको कैसे लगेगा कि someone who is advanced devotee, they are better than us? How can you find out? You can take the same examples and you can actually extrapolate on that, elaborate on that. The same kind of people, right? How could you say someone is advanced devotee? Everyone goes through these things, by the way. Everyone Like all of us are getting or got married. Getting matlab you, right? All other are already married, right? So everyone is doing job. All of us need promotion or appraisal at least to beat inflation. Everyone has office parties और जपा तो सबको करना ही ठीक with or without phone. So why it affects us and it does not affect the advanced devotee? How you can differentiate? How you can measure someone is advanced devotee?
Fluctuate.
Okay, but why? We can also do that. Why their mind is not fluctuating? They are also human like us. So what is the measure? Like how you can say? Well, we don't see anyone's mind, frankly. If someone is sitting like this one day, like I tried आज मैं बैठ के करूँगा एकदम आँख बंद करके, right? I was doing that. सामने वाले को लगेगा वाह भाई क्या डिवोटी है क्या भक्त है मतलब दिस इज द बेस्ट साधु एवर एटलीस्ट इन ऑल सोसाइटी और दिमाग में क्या चल रहा है आज ये करना है आज वो कर रहा है आज क्लास ऐसे करनी है उसको ये बोलना है ठीक सब कुछ यहाँ पे आज ये काम है ये सब चिल्लानी वो चल रही सामने वाले को तो लगेगा कि साधु 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 और दिमाग में क्या चल रहा है हाँ तो आउटसाइड यू डोंट नो व्हाट्स गोइंग ऑन इन समवन्स माइंड देन हाउ वुड यू से how would some you would say someone is advanced devotee हाँ नहीं कर सकते बट फिर भी आपको पता चलेगा there are certain ways how you can say someone is advanced devotee हाँ the sadachar मतलब the way they are doing that they are living life yes one way is that how else how they treat people ठीक है that's correct मतलब that's again part of the same thing sadachar think in that way something similar kind of examples what is the difference in this situation? What is the difference between the normal devotees and advanced devotees in the similar circumstances? Fixed mindset is theory. How would you know? But again, that's what I'm saying. I was sitting there. You will see me, you will think like he is very focused, but I'm not. That is something you cannot enter someone's mind and you will find out. Maybe someone is not focused, it is shown that he is watching mobile, he is not focused. But someone is not focused with eyes closed also. Happens with all of us. Right? It happens with all of us. So that is in theory what you are saying is absolutely correct. But how practically you can say? Yes, ma'am. Okay. Yeah, correct. कि नहीं खाना नहीं खाना. If I have taken a vow to follow 4 regulative principles, no intoxication, no illicit sex, और क्या क्या है? बताओ. No meat, no gambling. Right. If I have taken that, come what may, in any circumstances, I will not do that.
ज्यादा कमाने में भी कोई
यहाँ ज्यादा कमाने में प्रॉब्लम नहीं है राइट यहाँ ज्यादा कमाने में प्रॉब्लम ये है इफ यू आर सीइंग दैट योर जॉब I'll give you my example very simple I got a call from my partner from previous company he asked me to join EY he said तुम आओ चुपचाप ज्वाइन कर लो we need I said उस दिन we are going to Ahobilam on that platform only I got call I told him कि I'll think about it I just did not say no but I don't want to go ठीक है मैं उसको टालते रहा one or two time more he called I asked a completely irrelevant question he understood he is not willing to why that will require me a lot of travel I may get 30-40% easily raise ठीक I may be at right now I may be at the lower level I may easily get raised there right big four every year also it is very much sorted because that guy I know him very well he knows me very well but then it is going to affect my bhakti I'm 100% sure I have to cancel the classes on every other Sunday why should I go for that God has given me enough to be here I am earning enough that I can survive I can save and I can live life like that then why I want to compromise my bhakti just going for 30% extra money
for so that we can earn more. But Still, you are consistent, like in the classes or from.
So, Madhuri, I came to IBM for that reason. In my previous company, that was also another Big Four. And you know Big Four, right? It was like that. So I joined IBM even though I got raised. I'm not saying problem in raising. Your problem is not in raise and those things. Your problem is how much it is going to affect your spiritual life. Your criteria should be that, not manager, not raise, not anything else. Salary is not a criteria here. The criteria here is what it's going to do with your spiritual life. I took the conscious decision. I had other offers also. I took the conscious decision to join IBM because that time I felt, which happened also, कि it will be chill life here. For 2 years it actually happened. 2 साल के बाद बहुत कुछ change हो जाता है, right? It is, but still better than before, right? It is. So I took that decision. It is fine. So it's not the criteria of raise or salary. If you are getting a job where you will get 30%, 50% extra raise, but you'll have less work, who will not go? Everyone will, right? That's a dream job. Everyone wants that kind of job, right? But if you are thinking that your job, if you are foreseeing that it will affect it, then should you go or not? That is the actually measure of advanced devotee. How much risk are they willing to take in their bhakti? How much risk they are willing to take in their progress in Krishna consciousness? That is the measure of advanced devotee. Right? This is the only measure, and this is the something which you can see in front of your eyes. You don't have to get into their mind to understand. Right? Early is not an issue, but if it is affecting, you have a choice. Jैसे प्रभु जी का, he did not have a choice. He thought, when he changed, he thought that it will be better, but it did not go well. It became even worse. He does not have a choice for now. But then he will try. Somehow, somewhere, ठीक है, or changing the company, changing the team, somewhere it goes down. Right? He is going to willing to take risk for that. Because ultimately what matters? Not settling here. We just discussed. Settling here is not important. None of us are actually attached के भूखे मर रहे हैं यहाँ पे. 2 लाख एक्स्ट्रा मिलेगा, मर नहीं जाएंगे. लिटरली कुछ भी नहीं होगा. क्या होगा? आप बहुत हो गए म्यूचुअल फंड में 2 लाख रुपए एक्स्ट्रा डाल दोगे, मर जाओगे, आपके बच्चे ही यूज करेंगे. मतलब फ्यूचर क्या सेफ होगा? मतलब यू कैन एक्चुअली बी, हाँ सोचते हैं, इट डजंट मीन कि we don't have to save our future, but just running behind it is a problem, right? What future are we talking about? We say someone invested 40 lakh 50 lakh in a mutual fund, they have now 80 lakh. One disease, one cancer, crores gone just like this. What future are we talking about? Right? One cyber crime, all money is gone. छोड़ो, disease भी नहीं हो रहा है, एक cyber crime, all money is gone. Like we heard the cases, people retired, the old people, 4 lakh, 5 lakh, they lost just by one phone call. What future? They don't get anything. They will not get the whole life's earning. Right? There is no guarantee of the future. Of what future? You can earn whatever, you can have 20 crore in your bank account. Next day you're walking on the road and someone from the same Mercedes. हो गया future. That's it, the end of the future. There is no future. We are not here for the future. Right? So thinking about a lot of, just thinking about future is a problem. If we actually have to think about future, think in future where we'll go. Here again or Golok Vaikuntha. That is the only future we should think about, not all those other future. But it also again disclaimer, it doesn't mean we should let go of our material duties. If you are a mother, it doesn't mean कि बस बच्चा भूखे मर जाए, I don't care, मैं तो माला ही करूँगी. It doesn't mean that. You have to make a balance. Right? But it should not compromise our bhakti. That balance should be there. Right? And that is the measure of advanced devotee. They are willing to take risk. They know where they are. They are willing to take risk. Only that much I will do. What is important for me, and if I am able to survive, then that's fine. If I'm getting something which will help me progressing in bhakti, I'll take it by both hands. But if there is something which will, it will stop or it will hamper my bhakti, I will not take that. It's okay to be where I am. A lot of people, like, take companies like TCS, Wipro, IBM, right? People, why do they stay for 20 years? Not for raise. Literally not for raise. They stay in those companies so that they can spend time with the family, they can have easy life. So being ambitious is not bad, but why to have the material ambition? Have the spiritual ambition, bigger one, the best of all. Right. So you know an example of some people who were willing to take risk in life. Don't give my example. I'm not an example. I just give my example, but don't give my. I'm not at that level. Just an example. I just remembered. But some is the example from scriptures. Like Arjuna, he was willing to kill after Bhagavad Gita. He is now willing to kill his relatives also because Krishna asked him. He let go of all the Narayani Sena because he had Krishna on his side. He said, like, I will choose you rather than all those crores of people. Narayani Sena is not small Sena. It's not just people. They are the best of the best. Cream of the cream. They are top warriors. He said, I don't want them. I want you, Krishna. That is willing to take risk for Krishna. Prahlad Maharaj, he even got his father killed for Narsimhadev. Right. But he was not worried that Narsimhadev came, he will kill his father. Even though he asked, after he killed Hiranyakashipu, he asked, can you liberate him? They are willing to take risk. Where are we? That's what we have to think. Where are we? Right. Now, the question, how to have a focused mind? But before we go to that question, what kind of people will not have focused mind? Let's answer that. It's from the verse itself. Who cannot attain the samadhi? Who cannot have the focused mind? The people who are into, yeah, the same verse says that Bhoga Aishwarya mein lage rahenge, they will not. The people who are completely invested in Bhoga and Aishwarya, they will not have the focused mind. Why? Okay, now the theory is there, but why? What is the reason? Because they keep on thinking about that only. How can I earn more money? How can I have more respect? How can I have more material enjoyment? Right? They keep thinking about that, and that's why they are not having focused mind. Right? Yeah, because if your mind is always on those things, you will not have time to think about a spiritual thing. I have to earn more. I have to make sure that my boss sees me. I am having the visibility. Okay, IT term. Having the visibility across. Everyone knows me, so that I'll get promotion. That they're losing their life, right? And wasting their life actually. Now, why it's called wasting their life? Lost opportunity of what? Human life, lost opportunity of human life. Right. Exactly. We are losing the opportunity of why did we get the human life? We don't understand it. That's why all the problem comes. We think the purpose of human life is to enjoy, to exploit the world, to exploit all other jiva. That's not. This human life is given us because only human can think. They are intelligent enough to go back to Godhead, to do those devotional practices and go. Not any other, uh, not any other jeev, or not any other life can do that. Right. So that's why it is waste of life. Those people they get bewildered. We can understand by one example also. Like someone goes to a prestigious college, IIT Mumbai, let's say. Right, they got admission into that prestigious college, and the whole semester what they did, which is the best mess here, which is the best canteen where I can get food. Waste of life, right? You went to IIT and investing your time to finding what is the best food, what is the best restaurant and canteen. What's the purpose of going to IIT? अरे बाहर जाते और अच्छे मिल जाते. College में क्या ही मिलेगा? Outside at least you'll get some real good restaurant. Inside what you will get? The waste of life. So same way we also do. Like, if we don't understand that human life is given for a particular reason, to go back to God. Right. Okay. Now to the question, how to have focused mind. Now we know what kind of people will not have focused mind. Answer?
think that material opulence is
Someone who is always engaged in Bhoga and Aishwarya. Right? Because they are always thinking about that. Now to the question, how can how can one have focused mind? उसका ये रिवर्स कर दीजिए.
think about future.
तो मतलब लिटरल रिवर्स भी नहीं कर रहा था. Literal reverse. And not, it becomes reverse. You are a dog. You are not a dog. Yeah, absolutely. Correct. To focus our life in Krishna consciousness. And that's how we can do this. That is the solution. Right? For attaining samadhi. Fixed mind. How we can get? So Srila Prabhupada writes here. Samadhi means fixed mind. When the mind is fixed for understanding the self, it is said to be in samadhi. What does it mean by understanding the self? We are the soul who is part and parcel of the Lord, part and parcel of the Krishna. Understand that we are soul, not this body. Bhoga Aishwarya is for the body. All this thing will go away right with the body. Right? Only thing which remains us is with bhakti. Whatever we do, whatever little we do or more we do. Right? So Bhoga Aishwarya is for the bodily things. But when we understand about self, about the soul, then we understand what we have to do for the soul. And that's where we'll be in samadhi. So by endeavoring to understand ourselves or to endeavor on the path of spirituality, to understand the higher purpose of life, which is go back to Godhead, and marching towards it, that is breaking the cycle of birth and death. When we understand that, that state will be samadhi. Then we'll have fixed mind. Right? The opposite of that, from material opulences, material enjoyment, you are coming to spiritual platform, doing things for your spiritual progress and advancement. Right? Then you will actually go into samadhi state slowly. So that's what we have to understand, that we are soul. There is a super soul. What is our relationship with the super soul? What we have to do to achieve that? Right? Then we'll focus. And yeah, if someone who is not doing that, their mind will always be bewildered, thinking about concentration नहीं हो रहा है, focus नहीं हो रहा है, how to have focused mind, how you will have it when you're thinking about 100 things. You cannot have focused mind. Right? When we are thinking about 100 things, we can never have focused mind. Right? So one pointed focus is it's the most important thing. And if we are at the lower level, then what we have to do, we have to pull ourselves to higher level on the spiritual platform, from material to spiritual. And the easiest way to do in the Kali Yuga is Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. So by chanting, right? By focusing on each word when we do the chanting, it is for me also, it is for all of us. Right? When we focus, let's try to do like every word we are talking it very clearly and listening it. Now, Prabhuji, you may have question like why you say. Because if you will not say, then we will not listen. If you tell in mind, your mind will be somewhere else, your mouth will keep on running. Or maybe mouth also. But try to focus on each and every word. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. It's like the string is going on, like on the रेलवे स्टेशन पे चलता रहता ना हरे कृष्ण हरे या कुछ भी whatever और इस्कॉन मंदिर में think of this is going continuously in your mind going and think of that आप वो भी कर सकते but that has a even more caveat. I asked the same question to Prabhu what is the problem if we visualize Radha and Krishna there instead of focusing on the words? He said the problem is then you will start thinking what पगड़ी कैसी है उनका उनकी बांसुरी कैसी है उन्होंने कपड़े कैसे पहने देन कपड़ों से याद आएगा अच्छा धोती अरे धोती तो धुली ही नहीं अरे वॉशिंग मशीन धोती इसलिए नहीं धुली क्योंकि सर्फ तो है ही नहीं ओहो आज तो डिमांड जाना था सो बेटर टू स्टिक टू वर्ड्स rather than वरना आप डिमांड वगैरह हर जगह के चक्कर लगा के आओगे just thinking about other yes at one stage it will take you there but we have to understand that one thing It's not lower. नाम और नामी में कोई फर्क नहीं है. ठीक. The name is as equal to the Lord Himself. If we understand that, if we have Shraddha on that, we'll not worry about कि we are thinking about Radha and Krishna or we are seeing their name. Because name is as equal to as the deity. Right. That is the whole Gaudiya Vaishnavism. कि नाम और नामी में कोई फर्क नहीं. ठीक. So the name is same potency. आप राधा रानी का नाम और कृष्णा का नाम हरे और कृष्णा आप एक साथ बोलते हो. The name is exactly same potency as राधा कृष्णा की मूर्ति और स्वयं भगवान himself. Right. It is as equal to that. When you're focusing on that, you're focusing on Radha Krishna automatically. But we have to think, we have to understand that this is equal. Right? So focusing on that. And what happens with that? When we start focusing on that, our consciousness will go higher. Our mind will start fixing on Krishna consciousness, on Krishna. And slowly we get elevated. And that is the only way. That is the way of how we can have the focused mind. There is no other way. So any question? नहीं ज़्यादा सीरियस हो गए नो बिल्कुल सीरियस नहीं हो so all we have to do is to chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Okay? That's all. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama. So lot of tricks how you can have more focus on chanting. We all can do like one is like you think of in mind it completely the golden string is going right और जैसे बस के पीछे लिखा हुआ था लिंगमपल्ली टू कोटी ऐसा कुछ जा रहा है right or think you saw somewhere Hare Krishna Mahamantra something written it is so attractive think of that oh that was so attractive I take from that you image uh, yeah by imagination you can actually remember things very easily that's a trick right in our childhood it will think of the image and visualize that and you will remember more so by visualization you can do that a lot of tricks and then where most important is tell it clearly, hear it clearly. Right? Don't go too fast. Hare Krishna, 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 Ram, 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 Hare Hare. Hare गायब हो गए, फिर राम राम हरे हरे. अब half an hour में मुझे 10 माना कर Krishna, 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 not like that. बढ़िया कि आप बाद में कर लो, but don't do like that. Tell everything clearly, listen everything clearly. Okay. Slowly you will actually get that speed. Generally, but for attentive chanting, the speed is 5 to 7 minutes, 8 minutes, that's fine. Right, that speed is good enough. Right, if someone is doing 10 minutes, slowly they will come to 8 minutes, 7 minutes, 6 minutes. That is okay. But anything less than 5.5 minutes, 5 minutes, you are skipping something. Right. हाँ वही 8 minutes, 7 minutes, 6 minutes is okay. Something if someone is doing less than 5 minutes until they are very advanced that means they are skipping something ठीक अगर आप उनके साथ बैठ के देखोगे ना तो हरे तो गायब है या कृष्णा एक ही बार आ रहा है something like that तो just tell and listen very clearly so that's what we have to try focused mind slowly will get that ठीक any question ठीक है with that we'll finish वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यो च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो कोटि वैष्णव की जय प्रभुपाद की जय हरे कृष्ण
Gaudiya Vaishnavas lecture.